Greetings and welcome to the Freedom Career Hub. We're here today to dive into an intriguing topic: the common myths that often mislead young professionals on their career growth journey. Our purpose? To help you sidestep these traps, avoid unnecessary detours, and set you on a path to true professional success. Today, we'll be busting 7 of the most pervasive career growth myths that have the potential to derail your progress. So, buckle up and prepare for some myth-busting action. Get ready to ditch the detours and start on your journey to successful career growth. Let's dive into our first myth, the prestige trap. The prestige trap is the alluring idea that a job's worth is measured solely by its prestige. It's the belief that the more prestigious the job or the company, the more successful you are. However, this is a myth. Prestige is often a veneer that can hide dissatisfaction, burnout, and a lack of personal fulfillment. For instance, you might land a job at a high-status firm, but if it doesn't align with your values or passions, you may find yourself feeling unfulfilled, even unhappy. It's like buying a shiny car that doesn't run well. It might look impressive to others, but it won't take you where you want to go. Your career is a journey, and it's crucial to choose a path that brings you joy and satisfaction, rather than one that just looks good on paper. So, the next time you're assessing a job opportunity, don't just consider the prestige. Think about your interests, your values, and your long-term career goals. Remember, prestige doesn't always equal satisfaction or success. Moving on to the second myth, the ladder fallacy. Picture this. You're on a ladder, each step representing a promotion, a move up in your career. It's a simple image, isn't it? But here's where the fallacy comes in. Careers aren't always a straightforward climb. Sometimes you'll find that the next step up isn't where you need to go. Imagine a tree with branches spreading in all directions. Each branch represents a different path your career could take. You could climb straight up, sure, but you could also swing to a branch on the side, learning new skills, meeting new people, and discovering new passions. This is the essence of the ladder fallacy. The belief that career growth is strictly vertical when in fact it can be multi-directional. It's the understanding that sometimes you need to move sideways to eventually move up. It's about flexibility, adaptability, and recognizing opportunities for growth, even if they don't come with a fancier title or a bigger paycheck. Remember, career growth isn't always up, sometimes it's sideways, and that's okay. Let's tackle the third myth, the comparison catastrophe. Now, this is a trap most of us have fallen into at some point. We look around at our peers, see their achievements, and start comparing them to our own. It's a natural human tendency, but it can be absolutely destructive when it comes to career growth. Why, you ask? Well, here's the deal. When we compare ourselves to others, we are essentially setting someone else's career path as our benchmark. We end up chasing their dreams, not ours. We aim for their successes, neglecting our own goals and unique strengths. And that's where the catastrophe strikes. Let's say your colleague just got promoted to a senior role. You start questioning your abilities, wondering why you're still stuck in your current position. But here's a thought. Maybe your colleague's path is not your path. Maybe your journey is geared towards starting your own business, becoming a thought leader, or even changing careers entirely. In essence, comparing your career to others is like comparing apples to oranges. It's not a fair comparison because every person's journey is unique, with its own set of challenges and triumphs. So, the next time you find yourself falling into the comparison trap, remember this. Your career journey is unique to you. Don't compare it to others. Next up is the fourth myth, the skill stockpiling syndrome. You've probably heard the saying, the more skills you have, the better. That's where the skill stockpiling syndrome comes in, and it's a myth that needs debunking. The syndrome is the belief that accumulating a vast array of skills, regardless of their relevance to your career goals, will automatically lead to career growth. Imagine a carpenter who is a master of his craft, deciding to learn how to knit, bake, and scuba dive. While these skills may be interesting, they don't necessarily enhance his carpentry career. This is a clear example of the skill stockpiling syndrome. In reality, accumulating skills without a clear purpose or relevance to your career path can be detrimental. It can distract you from honing the skills that are truly essential for your career growth and can lead to a lack of focus and direction. Instead of falling into the skill stockpiling syndrome, it's more beneficial to master a select few relevant skills. These are the skills that will make you stand out in your field and lead to substantial career growth. Focus on mastering relevant skills, not stockpiling them. Now, we're on to the fifth myth, the networking nightmare. You've probably heard the phrase, "It's not what you know, it's who you know." This adage has been taken to extremes, leading many to believe that the more connections you have, the better your career prospects. This is the networking nightmare. But let's take a step back. Networking isn't about collecting contacts like trading cards. It's about building meaningful, mutually beneficial relationships. It's about quality, not quantity. Imagine this. You're at a networking event, frantically trying to meet as many people as possible. Sure, you might leave with a stack of business cards, but how many of those contacts will remember you? How many will you remember? Instead, focus on forming a few meaningful connections. Engage in deep conversations, show genuine interest, and follow up afterwards. That's how you build relationships that can open doors for you. So don't get caught in the networking nightmare. Remember, it's not about how many connections you have, but the strength of those connections. Build meaningful relationships, not just connections. Let's debunk the sixth myth, the overwork ordeal. Often the path to success is portrayed as a never-ending grind, with the notion that the more hours you put in, the more successful you'll be. But is this really true? The overwork ordeal falsely equates long hours with productivity and success. We've all seen it, the first to arrive, last to leave, the weekend warriors. But this belief can actually be a stumbling block to real growth. Consider the law of diminishing returns. The more you work beyond a certain point, the less productive you become. Overwork leads to stress, burnout, and eventually, a decrease in the quality of your work. Instead of focusing on the number of hours, concentrate on the quality of your work. Work efficiently, prioritize tasks that align with your goals, and don't forget to take breaks. Remember, it's about working smarter, not harder. Being effective doesn't mean being exhausted. Think about it. If success was solely determined by the number of hours worked, then anyone who's ever pulled an all-nighter would be a millionaire by now. Work smarter, not harder. It's not just a catchy phrase, it's a mantra for sustainable success. Finally, the seventh myth, the someday syndrome. This is the belief that there will be a perfect moment in the future to start something new or make a change. It's like waiting for all the traffic lights to be green before you leave your house. But here's the truth. There will never be a perfect moment. There will always be challenges and obstacles. Waiting for someday can become a never-ending cycle that delays your career growth. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Start now, not someday. We've busted some common career growth myths today. Let's quickly recap. Don't get caught in the prestige trap chasing titles over substance. Remember, the ladder fallacy can lead you astray. Every step doesn't need to be upwards. The comparison catastrophe is just that, a catastrophe. Your path is yours alone, not a competition. Beware the skill stockpiling syndrome. Focus on depth, not just breadth. Networking isn't a nightmare if you approach it genuinely and with curiosity. And the overwork ordeal? Balance is key. Finally, don't put off your dreams to an elusive someday. These myths can be subtle, almost invisible, but they can take you off course. So stay vigilant, keep learning, keep questioning. Take a moment now, reflect on these myths. Have you fallen into any of these traps? If so, what can you do starting today to navigate out of them? Remember, your career journey is unique. Make it count. Thank you for joining us at the Freedom Career Hub. Stay tuned for more career insights and guidance.